Hey guys, we'll get started in just a moment. AR, why don't you try talking?
Talk, talk, talk. Picking a great time to readjust my positioning. Talk,
Yeah,
talk, talk.
I'm doing the same thing, making sure my phone's muted and throwing it behind me.
Yeah, I'm getting my water in the right spot. Yeah, I'm doing all that
Yeah,
stuff for now.
yeah. The only thing that makes it easier for me is that because I'm aware that I'll move around, I go with the headset so I don't have to adjust anything regarding how I'm sitting for the mic. If I
Yeah.
turn, it's there. Okay, Dev, try talking for a moment.
I am exhausted beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Yeah, I'm about at that point. We'll see how everything goes next week when we're back to the normal day and hopefully some normalcy has resumed.
Yeah, my coworker is bleeding horribly. So,
Is that
I
a
had to do.
present tense type thing or
Yeah,
huh.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a thing. So I've had to do 3 opening to close shifts and I'm dying.
Yeah,
Um
years ago when I worked at a movie theater, those were the two worst shifts to do. And also Friday and Saturday night shifts at all.
yeah.
Mine is combined.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the WtW pod. I'll go ahead and do that again.
That again.
Yeah,
Judging you.
I was looking at the stream had changed colors and I got caught in trying to read if it was saying something was wrong. Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
I'm Air Paul for Digimon System Restore.
DevQ and I work on Wikimon.
And it's been a long week for everyone. Well, not even quite a week because we're here a day early. We were
Yeah,
a
we're working
day,
on we're on a short week.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
short week. We're a day early this week, and the last episode was a day after we normally do it.
Going on just 5 days rest here.
Yeah, and somehow they still found a way to throw some interesting news at us. And
Because they love you that much.
an episode that AR almost liked. Therefore, we may actually be in some sort of Twilight Zone type situation.
It's
Because especially since AR's like, because I saw your tweet where you're like excited. It's like most people aren't at least that I've seen aren't having that reaction to this episode, which means we finally
say
know
it's
AR. We know AR's real
well,
name.
I wouldn't say it's
Safety first.
excited.
His real name is Armand White,
What?
the film critic who's known for who basically just trolling in everything he writes.
That was a little too Dennis Millery there.
Well, I don't do the head bob though, so it doesn't quite count. And I also
I
didn't go
see.
insane 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah. So Dance of the
at this
Heavens.
at this point, very possible that referencing Dennis Miller may in itself be Dennis Millery.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
We're almost there.
Do we have to reference the giant dice falling? Not dice. I can't remember the word. Dominoes falling over from the beginning of the show. That no one but you and me will understand the reference at all.
Yikes! Yeah.
Yeah. So episode 52, Dance of the Heavens, Hououmon. Let's talk about this before AR and me continue to remind people how old we are.
Yes, please.
Um, there was a lot of setup in this episode I liked, but the episode itself kind of meh because it. Well, like
Yeah,
for
when you
what?
say when you say that I'm excited about it, I don't mean that to imply that it was a good episode.
Oh
It was
no,
not a
your
good
your
episode.
initial tweet was almost glowing.
Uh,
Your initial tweet
I
was
don't think it
quite
was
positive.
glowing.
Oh, it was quite. I'm
Well,
pulling it
it's
up right now to
positive
read it. I'm gonna
for
read
this
it.
series. It was
I'm gonna
positive.
read it with no attempt at an impression, which I will not do. There's something oddly comfortable about episode 52. It's not at all ambitious or super interesting, but in presenting a proper disagreement between characters, it's informing and developing. Nothing remarkable, but they're closer to on target than we've seen in a while. That's pretty positive for this episode, which is kind of
Well,
bland,
yeah,
falls into nothing.
Comparatively.
Yeah, for this
Yeah.
for this series, that's about as positive as I've been
Nah,
getting lately
nah.
for the series like this.
Last week was better.
Last week was not better.
Yes, it
No.
was.
So
Yeah,
here's
last week was just
last week
god
was
awful.
This episode
yeah,
was
last
better,
week was bad.
except for the fact that I was sitting there and thinking about KFC.
What?
It's a chicken
You need
joke.
to elaborate on that.
I
Hououmon,
watched it.
chicken.
Okay.
Hououmon's supposed to be a chicken? Okay.
That is the
I was
joke I'm
imagining
making.
imagining legendary Firebird, and it was honestly only there for 10 seconds. So
Yeah,
Hououmon's like the least important thing to talk about in this
I
episode,
know.
honestly.
Junkmon with Kappa Yamaguchi, he's always had personality for the decades that he's been a voice actor.
Yeah, Junkmon was certainly a one-off type
Yeah.
of
That's not
enjoyable for what he
that's not
was.
a one-off.
Apparently, yeah,
And
that's
even
let's see that
odder,
as
you have to wonder if that's some purposeful setup for next week, considering one of his most popular characters is associated with screwery with hot springs.
I mean, that's
It it
really a
feel-
stretch.
it may be, but it feels like if you're gonna have Ranma's actor there and you're doing a hot spring episode that he doesn't need to be in the first place.
They don't really do voice actor jokes in Digimon, though.
It's-
I'm trying to remember. I mean, like the
yeah,
Volcano Oda stuff sometimes, but
yeah, I guess
He's
so.
Volcano Oda. He does what he wants.
yeah, I am like
Yeah.
that's a weird.
Man.
That would be a weird style of humor. I suppose. Yeah, like the audio dramas in Adventure did.
Yeah, I
did
guess
promote
that's true.
voice
I
actor
guess that's
humor,
true.
but that's like the extent of where they go with that. It's not like
Yeah, I
it's
guess
not like
that's
God Pokemon doing that every so often.
yeah, I guess that's
Love that.
true. But you know what they always
But
say.
But you know what? You can
They are
dream. You can
safety
dream.
first.
Oh, God.
Man, they ripped like
They ran,
that.
they
you know
ran
what?
that into the ground,
So
didn't
so
they?
so here's the thing. There's two ways they could improve that gag. One, the actual animation part of the gag, I don't think ever worked at all. Like
No,
anytime I
that
saw the
looked
actual
awkward.
yeah,
That
that
looked
was awkward.
awkward and stupid the first time, and it
Yeah.
got worse.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
they kept it to 3 or 4 uses audibly, it might have worked. The problem is they kept jumping to it so much, it was dead as a joke within the first minute and a half.
Oh, that's
Like
even worse than the. It's even worse than the knowledge is power, whatever. Knowledge is joy, whatever.
No,
Wiseman did last week.
I like that because it's specific to the character and everyone else is kind of annoyed by it. In this case, they set up a good joke by having Agumon do it, and then everyone just kept doing it over and over again. And it was like, oh, that's fucking dead, that joke.
Maybe they're just cutting back on
yeah.
the animation where they just reuse it over and over.
No, it was, I believe it was animated differently every time.
There were variations as it went along.
It wasn't just repeating the animation. They actually animated that the different times. And of course, the important thing, Taichi still has his goggles on top of the helmet, which is a visual that I love.
It looks really weird with that helmet on.
Because you don't have
like
the hair.
Way they stuff when they stuff the hair in that helmet.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that the way the hair comes out of his head, he actually kind of looks like Takato. I don't know if I'm the only one who thought that, but
looking at it now, I didn't get that watching, but like looking at the screenshots passing by.
I thought a little more like Takuya,
kind of
actually.
Takuya, it's just he looks like Takuya might be the better one because Takuya wears a baseball cap.
So my main issue with this episode is okay, so the plot overall, like you said, it's not ambitious, it's basic. The characters have a pseudo misunderstanding, but the problem is they only introduced that 5 seconds before the commercial break. And it feels like they never really have that talking out moment. You get the hug at the end, the end moment, like, oh, blah 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 blah. But they never really.
I'm okay, but I was okay with that kind of resolution because it was more that they realized that it was a really stupid thing to get that upset over. Like it's
no, but that's the
first
thing. They don't discuss it enough to say, oh, it was stupid, because Sora's trying to protect Hououmon. Hououmon wants to help Sora. I don't think did they ever really make it clear that they understood.
Not really. They just kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah, they figured out on their own that they're just being they themselves are being like Sora realizes that she's being stupid. Hououmon realizes that they're being stupid, and they figure it out from there.
But it feels
honestly,
too stilted how they handled it.
what I'm excited, what I guess excited is a strong word. I wouldn't say it's excited, but I'm pleased to see. I am pleased to see that there actually is a disagreement and an argument. Like I am settling for that at this point because there haven't been any in the longest
was there
time.
even really a disagreement or an argument?
Yes,
It was
there
basically
It was
like
just
absolutely.
Hououmon kind of going,
it was
"Why
basically
hate you?"
Hououmon mouthing off and running off. There wasn't really a disagreement. Maybe there was an argument, but it was more that she just got upset because she didn't really think about what was going on, and then she ran off. And then, oh no, Sora! And then she runs back, and they're all fine.
They're being petty and dramatic like Sora and Piyomon always are, but the
Yeah,
fact is
that's
that this
true.
is petty.
But
This is
here's the thing.
petty.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
This kind of petty disagreement fuels that should be like fueling the
Oh no,
show. Like
absolutely.
this
But
is
here's
what
the
I'm
thing.
here for.
Here's the
It just feels
problem.
like out of nowhere, kind of.
You can't complain when the show. You've complained in the past that the show goes, oh, it's this thing that if you're older you would recognize. You can't then go, they always do that with Sora and Piyomon because they haven't done it in this show before.
Yeah, in this show.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
It can't be that Yokomon was kind
But
of a bitch and try. Therefore.
Right. Well, they did that with Joe's first episode, but
yeah. But yeah,
that was the
know.
entire justification of Joe's first episode. But it is sort of that's what I mean by it being comfortable. It's like, oh yeah, Sora and Piyomon are having this really annoying, petty argument. This is comfortable for me. Like I'm back in my
deep
down.
It's
not good. It's not good by any stretch, but it's.
I know what you're going to grade this.
Like, wow, they're actually showing a personality.
I know what you're going to grade. I know what you're going to grade this, and I'm going to be able to use that against you in the future.
Okay, what am I going to grade this?
B-.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. And
oh no, absolutely.
You're right.
No, and yeah,
you're right because this is not. I mean, this isn't a good episode. Like, let's be real about this. But it's bad. It's sort of in the way that the Millenniumon episode should have been an A and got dragged down to a B- because of its crap. This was a C episode that because it did a few things that I found interesting. I found.
I know what you're saying, but you're saying
raised it like it was a C episode that got raised to a B- because of how it did things.
You're saying it's a middling episode, but there were certain things you like that heightened it, and
yes,
you're happy about that, even if
yeah, and also
no,
because
that's fair.
it does set a good tone for having these kind of personal issues do set a good tone for an arc which is theoretically about learning about the crests. Like if that's something that they it might be something that we can hope they continue doing. And it is something that would, if it's done, if it's done better than Sora and Piyomon, is something that can elevate future episodes.
Except what usage of the crest? You said that you would hope that they'd continue to use the crests, or I don't know the exact wording. Those along those lines.
Well,
did they really do anything with love here? Minus, know.
No. What I'm saying is that the idea is that they're going to do something actually potentially interesting with the characters, and since the crests are presumably tied to the characters, that I think we can still safely assume that they might actually develop the characters a little bit.
Yeah, and then
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's always the
but
big
we probably will not see next week with the Gecko Hot Springs Revolt, where we get Tonosama like Gekomon, we get Nanimon. Wait, no. Man, my brain just froze on what his name is. Nanimon, right?
I know. What was that?
My brain froze on what his name was. Nanimon, right?
Were the Nanimon in the intro? I didn't.
Yeah, they're kind of like freezing their asses off.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I still find it weird that Joe was recommending that hot spring to Karu and Hikari because he did not look like he had a good time.
No, he had a good time until he was stuck there. And where else is he supposed to recommend that?
He was stuck there right off the bat.
And then
he got like 5 good minutes in, and then suddenly it's uncomfortable for the next week.
And then maybe would have been an unexpected evolution had they not shown it in the trailer.
Are we really
going? I feel like it would be an evolution to me.
Are we really going with that? Are we really thinking that's an evolution for Tailmon?
No, I'm saying it because everyone's saying it.
Okay, I'm
Here's
just
the
saying
thing. Here's the thing.
Apossumon showed
Here's
up
the thing.
too, and that
It
wasn't.
could be an evolution. It could be an enemy. It could be Tonosama Gekomon, getting pumped up due to the hot spring. There's 100 different things it could be. I know what most people think it is at this point, and that's what I was going with.
Yeah, I mean
It kind of looked like it'd be a cat fight.
It certainly could be. I think that
We'll see.
I would be really skeptical of thinking that would be done well if they did
And
that,
then,
just because it feels like at that point you're beginning to get a little over reliant on these alternate evolutions.
I mean, they've only done 2 at this point, minus the special one a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, and even then, like, Ponchomon was acceptable just because it was stupid fun.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna try to present this as a real
It was still
mechanic,
the
then
best
we're getting
episode.
into then we have to start thinking about what's going on, and I don't really want to do that.
Well, see, that we do have to consider because we're getting very close to what many people still think is going to be the end of the show. Do you think the show is in any way setting up to end its, ignoring that they always could, do you think it is in any way setting up to end at 66?
Well, considering how fast they wrapped up Millenniumon, sure, they probably could do it.
Oh, they could. I'm saying, does it really seem like they are?
They don't end arcs well, so why would they think they end series well?
Yes. I mean, we can talk about Tamers later if you want. Tamers is one of the ones that had the most solid ending, and that's been kicked into the dirt over and over for almost 20 years now.
Because it made us fucking cry.
You can tell I made a winning point there when Mark has to resort to the Tamers epilogue as a Tamers follow-up audio as a counter argument.
No, because we've already had the adventure discussion in this episode, in fact. And frankly, it's not always nice to kick savers. Sometimes gotta kick Tamers, especially since Tamers stuff is coming up.
Yeah, but Tamers
Tamers had a great ending. Yeah. And then they kept going. That's the issue there.
We're not talking about follow-ups here.
Oh yeah, and then our new topic is, hey, look, more 02 music with AR's theme of, hey, we're not talking about follow-ups here.
Is there a follow-up?
So here's the thing.
I can't tell what the Chosen Child and Digimon thing. Introduce the subject and we'll
okay, so
get into that.
They're doing 6 new character song albums, which are framed around being, it's been 21 years since they started doing the character song series, which they did in 02. They continue for Tamers. Frontier, I think they did it as an album.
Yeah, they had like a couple of
Yeah, it was done as albums for Frontier.
Yeah.
So we get all 12 Kazuna 02 cast members, including Yuka Tokumitsu back as Tailmon, which she isn't in the current show.
That's her Tailmon, though.
But there was always the possibility that it wasn't that she didn't want to do a long form series. She may have retired, which has happened. So it's nice to see her back. And each one will have 4 tracks. We get the Chosen Child solo, the Digimon solo, and the duet, just like the old ones. And then a 4th one, which isn't clear what it is. It sounds like it's a mini audio drama to me.
That's what it looks sense.
Like. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it seems like to me. All 6 are for pre-order now. It looks like they're exclusive to the, I always say the name wrong, Anigatur store. They're coming out on August 1st, which feels like we're getting fucking set up here, doesn't it? They're pre-order only. They're out August 1st. DigiFest, and they're going to be there. Some of them are going to be there. Why?
Spite.
Oh, no, it feels like setup to me, and we'll see. Although I'm looking forward to the CDs just to get more personality out of them. Like all of that cast did a really good job, even the ones who weren't in Try, the ones just introduced for the one movie. And I really would like to hear some of that, and it's going to be all new music, but I hope some, like Miyako's was full of personality in the O2 song. I would like to see that personality be expanded on here the same, maybe the
Mhm.
same style of music or something.
Yeah, it'd be
And
nice to. It's a chance at getting a better glimpse of them than we really saw in Kazuna, because they were
and
so in
yeah,
and out in Kazuna that like it's nice to see them again, but we didn't really catch up with them at all.
yeah, and maybe not terrible Armadamon songs this time.
Oh God.
I
I mean,
wonder
here's
how
the thing.
the artwork's gonna look.
Well, that's what the interesting thing is. Early pre-orders will come with prints of them, and I pre-ordered all those before I put the article up. If I'm being honest, like
I
I'm
like how they're
writing.
I just like how they're milking it by putting it on 6 different CDs.
To be fair, that is how the original was done.
Yes, it certainly was, and
And
they're
and they
going back to that.
and here's the thing.
It's very 02 of them.
Except here's the thing: the price is fair enough that if they did albums, they would do it in duos or trios, and it'd be 3,000 or 5,000 yen. So the price is
Yes.
basically priced around it being
Mm.
and not only that, it's not even really a single. You get an A, B, a C, and whatever the hell the fourth one is, which it could be a song, it could be an audio drama, it could be 30 seconds of them like talking as they piece out, basically. We really don't know what
Which
that's going to
they've
be.
done before.
No, absolutely. That's why I brought it up, because 100% that's what this could be.
Oh, Yasumi Nasai.
Yeah. I mean, or it could literally be one of those horrible marching tracks they sometimes throw on anime CDs, where you get the person clapping and it's the character just like singing a marching song.
Oh
The
no. Yeah.
the
I,
only the
I'm
in
I'm
fact
gonna
wasn't
cross my fingers and hope it's an audio, some sort of just a catch up
yeah
with them. It would be. I'm curious as whether it would be truly like Kazuna era or if they really would do it like 21 years
um
since.
they've specifically labeled them as basically O2 Kazuna,
Okay,
as in they are
so
specifically labeling
we're gonna
these as
catch up with
Kazuna.
what they were in what they were doing in 2010
Well, that's
or
the thing is we
2011 or
don't even know what those are. Though is the problem. They could be another song with no actual story content. There could be nothing of
I'm not
substance.
I doubt that because there already is a duet song between them.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just laying out the idea that it's possible. So, Dev, have you ordered these yet? It feels like you're gonna order
No,
them.
I'll probably just get the one with Ken and Wormon, and
Are you
you
waiting
know,
to see the art first?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, but yeah, so we'll see
Like,
what
I can easily get a hold of the audio by harassing my friends for it, but like
Yeah,
if I'm
but
getting a
now,
CD, I want it to look pretty.
yeah, at least
Yeah,
now we know why Kinashida's showing up at Diginavi.
yeah,
Yeah,
that would explain it
yeah, is they're
for
gonna
sure.
they'll probably play a few clips
Yeah.
of it. He'll show off a cover or two and say, "Oh, we'll show more later." That's basically
Hmm.
what that's gonna be. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if they have a huge fuck you where it's like, hey, if you pre-ordered all of these, you get a separate bonus.
No, because they would put that up ahead first because they want people to order all of them. Once people have
That.
ordered something, it's hard to get people back.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
say that because the moment when people are most likely to not think about it is when it's first announced and they see the list of what's happening. Once
Hmm.
people think about it, you lose sales. That's why they had the
Mm.
thing about the bromides there from moment one. Like they don't even have standby. If you go to Digimon Web, they actually forgot to put up the O2 logo, so it's just a standby image. Like, here's the thing: it may be that they didn't want to throw up the show logo, so it's literally just like an error image that says no image.
Oh, good job.
Now, it is a
Good job.
custom error image from the site, but just literally just has the text in English, no image, and that's it. So yeah. And then cards. We got to see the first classic collection card, which is Metal Gurumon, and I like it, but it's also almost less than I expected. I kind of expected like maybe all of them would look like the handful of old style cards they've done. And
It's
instead
artwork we've already seen. It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
it's the background that kind of ruins it for me. Where it's just like, "Oh, here's some binary code. The kids like that, right?
Yeah, they could have at least made it like the, Metal Empire
Well, see,
background.
I figured it was going to be that the cards were going to be themed like the old card game. Especially when you have the logo looking like the old one, and they've done that a few times and people love those. So,
Yeah, but no, here's just a random ass
yeah.
background.
Yeah, and then with Fun Digica, we know who the new co-host is. It's Neri, who was one of the two people who was not dressed up in goofy stuff. So it feels like that it was gonna be her or whatever the one guy's name is, who I don't remember.
They
No one
they
worth
knew who
remembering.
they knew who it was before they started filming that.
Oh, realistically, yes. But when only two of them even seem to be there seriously, they're telling us it's one of these two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Card Battle 33 had a couple matches, which, in between releases, they sort of fall into that zone of, oh, here's a bit of news and here are matches, and we don't have much else to say. And then Road to Digimon Card Master popped back for a match where they themed it as student versus teacher. So you had the two co-hosts versus the teacher co-host. They were using a Jespon deck. He was using a Gankumon deck. It is a very funny theme. And then they announced an English version of the Evolution Cup, which sign-ups start in a few days. We get to see English versions of that Agumon and Omnimon card, which that Omnimon Omegamon art's really good. And hey, it may even be rarer than the one card, so we'll see what pops up with that one.
Who
They
knows?
they announced an event pack with 18 parallel cards in it. Man, I'm just gonna go ahead and guess here, and I made the same guess in the post. That's probably where those 10 fan vote cards are gonna be, aren't they? That's what it feels like, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So registration starts for that in a few days, and the matches start in July. And then we have product stuff to go over. So first up, I actually like these stupid adventure phone cases. I'm not gonna get one, but I actually like them.
They're
They
they're
have
a
the
little nicer than what we're used to for
yeah,
phone cases.
they have the slight
I'm still
3D.
salty that it's friggin' iPhones.
Well, because here the problem is with the Android ones, especially if you do ones that are designed with specific things in mind, you have to use those generic ones that clip them in and they look kind of not nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if iPhones suck.
Mm-hmm.
Eh, I like keeping my phone for years and having it work. Um,
Mine
now
still works. I've had mine for 3 years now.
talk to Lost about his Android phones and how well they hold up. He he has not had good luck with Android phones. Now, the
Mm.
interesting thing about these is they have the slight 3D effect, and some people I've seen are upset they aren't like more 3D. I think that's so the wireless charging pad still works.
Yeah, you can't do too much 3D on that or it's
Yeah.
gonna mess things up.
Yeah, I assume that's so you can still do wireless charging, but here's the thing. People may get these and it may not work at all, and it may have just been that's how they decide to do them. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think,
I mean, at the very least, even if they're more 3D, like it still has to fit in your pocket.
yeah, that,
So,
uh, I didn't even think
like
about that part, to be
you
honest.
can't go too wild
Yeah.
on those
Yeah.
because slimness is a thing people do like in phones.
Yeah, and you can tell they know the market because they made one that will fit the mini, one that will fit the normal and the pro, and nothing for the Pro Max. So they know their market well enough there.
Yeah.
Fuji TV announced a couple more of their exclusive products, a clear file and a notepad. I actually like the notepad, except the thing is I would never get a custom notepad like that because it takes up too much writing space with like the design.
Yeah, in the middle there,
Yeah.
that
Like like
is a
like I
lot.
understand like if you were posting like a message on a fridge maybe. But like if you actually had to like write notes,
Yeah, I'm
you're
surprised that text isn't like higher at the top.
Yeah.
well, I'm
Or
talking about even
or
like the Tai
even
Chi and the feathers and shit. You're losing like a third of
yeah, like
almost half of the page.
I have some of the old Crest notepads, like the little ones with I have a a Yamato and a Hikari. I think they made a Takeru as well with just kind of a faded crest design in the background.
For some
It's
reason, I think I have. For some reason, that sounds familiar. I wonder if I
yeah,
have
and
that.
I use it. Like those
Yeah,
are nice to have.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
can
and
write over them everything just fine.
yeah, and then this is what looks nice. They show the test sample of the Tamer Set 2 playmat. That looks fucking nice.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, it's not something I'm ordering, but that's the type of test photo you show that gets people to buy something they were thinking about. That's and that closes in. Actually, it's tomorrow, I think, that it closes. And then anyone looking forward to the Tamer or re-release plushies, 50 Village Vanguard stores will have those early on July 2nd. Good luck.
I
And then
want
so
them.
so here was the crazy twist item. The Dukemon model kit, which says both Dukemon and Galtmon on the box, has great box art, and the kit coloring looks completely fucking different than anything we've seen for this kit before. Like, have we seen a single shot in the past that looks like this? This is like
The one
entirely
feels
different.
like it was more gold.
The colors are much more vivid. It looks much nicer to me. Like, it did not, I don't think any photos we ever saw that it didn't look this nice. The only kit that I can think of that looked so different early to late, I think was it the Metal Garurumon one? Where like it looked kind of bland in the initial photos and then it looked very
Oh yeah, it's because it
dynamic.
was like a 3D model as opposed
Yeah,
to
but
like the actual
this was a
finished
kit photo,
colors.
wasn't it, early on? It wasn't just a model, I don't think. Maybe it was,
Mm.
who knows. But yeah, see, I don't want to build a model kit, but I kind of want to order this one because it looks nice. Although
Well, you could do what my friend is doing and send it to me, and I put it together and send it back.
that's too much effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one I'm seriously thinking about.
Now, can we all point out the hilarity and fun that the shield is so big and heavy, it comes with a stand to hold the shield when he's holding it?
We've pointed that out before,
Oh,
but
I
yes, it is
know,
still
but
amusing.
it's still funny. It's like even in the press photo, they're showing it holding it, and I'm just laughing because it's a nice looking shield. But damn.
That's his
Um,
thing.
and then
It's chonker.
Yeah.
Digimon gets its first series of Naru Bendesu figures, which I believe they do these for lots of different shows, and I think the idea is just it's the characters marching and you line them up or can put them on a bag and
Mm. I
no
was
no
wondering what these were about.
yeah, these are basically 300 yen gachas. And they're not painted yet, but am I wrong or do these look really fucking nice? Like
They're
cartoonishly
really
so.
cute looking.
No, I know, but like look at like the head for like Agumon or Tentomon. Am
It
I
has a
wrong?
really nice detail, and you don't see any like really obvious
No, and
seams.
that's what I mean. But like
Mm-hmm.
these are 300 yen. These are kind of like supposed to be kind of trash toys. You know what I mean? These are kind of like the cheap whatevers, and they look really nice. Although I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at some of the marching poses. It's kind of like I'm not sure you can notice Tentomon's doing anything. He kind of just looks like Tentomon. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice looking figures though. And then we got a preview of Tidied of Dust, including reference book updates and art for the 3 new Digimon in it. Sunamon, Goromon, and Voltramon, and people seem to have gone nuts for Voltramon. And everyone's
I can
making
see why.
and then for
It is
Goromon,
fucking badass.
we're getting the exact same joke 1,000 times. Among Us. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I thought when you said the same joke, I assumed it was the Star Wars sand everywhere.
No, haven't seen it. I would have thought that I would have thought that I would have gotten
Sunamon,
those jokes for
maybe.
Voltramon because Voltramon kind of looks like a sand person.
He is a
But
little
Exactly.
respiratory, yeah.
he also has the weird Mario shell on his shoulder, which every time I look at it, I just kind of go, that really looks like a Mario shell type
The
thing.
spiny, yeah, a little
Yeah,
spiny shell on the shoulder pad. Yeah.
yeah. And I have
Yeah.
to say, I like the prototype for the card case, where it's basically a thicker credit card size thing. One side you can slip in the frames, the other side you can slip in the actual DIM cards. I actually like that.
Yeah.
It's a neat little design that no doubt will cost $15 to $20 to $30. And I wish that was a joke, but we all know that's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Early product solicitations out of Asia the last few months have said there was going to be some type of case showing up that would come with an exclusive DIM card. Yeah. So we'll see if this is that, and if that's how they pump the price up by another $10, $15. And then in news where we had no expectations and they still broke them, Super Rumble shows off images
I
and the
expected
key art.
nothing, and we're still disappointed.
Yeah, and the key art is very clearly traced. Like, so the three middle ones, Omegamon, Wargreymon, Melgreymon, those are clearly traced from the model kits. Hououmon is clearly the original gem that broke anytime anyone ordered it. Angemon, I'm pretty sure, is traced from Try. From his evolution.
Okay.
I think it's what it is.
It does
Agumon,
look familiar now that you mention it.
yeah, they all are traced from somewhere. It's just a matter of where. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, here's the thing. I don't even know how to comment on this because we literally had at least the three. Some people had expectations. The three of us didn't, and even still, they found a way to make us go, "This is worse than I expected." And our expectations were zero. I don't think any of us ever planned to play this. If we did, we don't expect it to be good.
If she was on it, I would say that Hououmon's taken from the Digimon the movie cover.
Oh God, that does look like that'd be from the cover,
She
doesn't
really
it?
does.
Holy shit!
I don't think she's actually on the
No,
cover,
she's
but
not.
that would have been that would have been my guess.
See, here's the thing. That Hououmon pose I know from somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
It's literally just her attack from the original adventure. It's literally that.
no, but
It
there's
just-
something specific about the way it's drawn that makes me think somewhere. And I don't know where, but it is from somewhere else though.
Yeah, it
It's
has
not just
to be,
there.
obviously. But
And then, like, I feel like the only one that might be original, and that's because it's done so terribly that I can't recognize it, is Gabumon.
So,
Something's going on with his neck that does not make fucking sense to me.
yeah, he's like
you know what
one way, and then he's
it's almost like Gabumon's a composite of two different drawings of him. Like it has that normal profile art of him running with his arm back, but then they grabbed a different image of his head.
You unnervingly.
he's very Ministry of Silly Walks right there.
And then the models they show in the other image, I mean, I don't
look like trash.
So here's the thing: I don't hate the Leomon model. It's really, really basic, and multiple people have said that's just the one from Masters. But like the Greymon model, the Kabuterimon model, the Birdramon model, those are fucking horrendous.
Yeah, they just look weak.
Yeah, and multiple people are getting upset about the character ones because those seemingly are just like standard models from something they're using, and they've thrown different sweaters on them or something.
It's the default characters from RPG Maker.
But basically, it is the default characters from some development package. So like multiple people going, I know those fucking characters. They're the ones that pop up every fucking time in this program. Like people who know nothing of Digimon, I'm getting tagged in on because people are getting upset at how lazy it is. And then we have dragons. Because God help us, we really don't have anything else to say about that fucking horrendous Super Rumble art. People always want to know why don't I cover Masters. It's because with something that gets constant updates like that, it's like Rear Eyes. If I'm not playing it, I can't actually cover it week to week.
Well, that is just like the most generic of grindy RPGs. Like the only reason you would be playing it is if you are obsessed with Digimon.
But it's like Rear Eyes is theoretically better, and I don't nonstop cover that outside of new Digimon or it's showing up because
it would be full time to
cover it.
Re-Arise is better because of the story. The
Yeah.
updates they have don't really have to do with the story. They have to
Yeah.
do with the little side quests they give you.
Basically. Hey, Digimon Profile 10's about the 4 great dragons. And when I look at this artwork, it says to me that they plan to use Holy Dramon, and someone went, we don't want this to look that much like the Neverending Story. Because if you look at this art, doesn't it look like they meant for him to be riding Holy Dramon, and someone just went, that's too on the nose?
Little.
Also, the scale is
we're
interesting because what if Gadramon actually is to scale from the new series and Agumon Hakase is actually just fucking gigantic?
Hakase is actually huge. That would be an interesting development. But yeah, we were talking a couple weeks ago about how Holy Dramon wasn't Falcory enough for us in something, so...
Yeah, but anytime I look at that art, I just go, someone at some point planned for Holy Dramon to be in that image. And then they opened up a new poll, which is vote for your favorite of the 4 great dragons. And I would like to congratulate Holy Dramon for winning when the poll closes.
unless there's like this really large Ophanimon contingency that's just determined to make sure Holy Dramon doesn't win, then it could get interesting.
I guess so, but then who do you vote for? Quinglongmon?
Oh, they'll get on Discord and figure out who they want to vote for. They'll take care of that.
Have you voted?
I don't think I have I?
I don't recall if I did either, because this isn't one where this is one where if you do it, you just go click and move on, and you don't think about it ever again.
I probably would have voted for King Longmon because that's just my jam. But
that's what I would have also. Dev, have you voted?
Not yet, just because I have been dying.
Who do you think you'll vote for if you do?
Holy Dramon. Okay. Totally Holy Dramon. It's so fluffy. I love it.
Fair. That's fair.
Plus, it gives me an opportunity to make another Neverending Story joke in a few weeks.
I want like a body pillow size plushie of it.
And with a few days until DigiNavi, we have a trailer that has already spoiled any number of things. So, we're not going to go over the host and stuff again, but the 4th Vital Bracelet short's in it. They've said there'll be new information for it. The Digimon Classroom crew will be there. And man, I love when they frame the camera to try to hide the plastic protective things, and you can 100% tell they're there. They show off the Dukemon kit. They don't tell us what, but very clearly we're getting a re-release of the Montelmon Gem, which we have not seen that in half a decade or so, so people are going to be very happy to be able to get that without markups. I assume Dev's going to order like 5 of them.
Only 2, maybe.
And then we get to see Yuki Y with his love of plushies, which I believe he's actually brought up him collecting Digimon plushies in prior ones, I think.
I want
God, that's a fucking mood.
I want that Harrison.
Then we get the Western release corner once again. It looks like this time they'll be focusing on card game stuff. We'll see what pops up there. In theory, we're only a month away from... I'm trying to remember if the Digimon X's are actually coming out in July, or if it's October, or if we've been getting both releases bounced at us, and I just don't recall. I think it's been both bounced back and forth.
That sounds more accurate.
Yeah. Then we get Digimon Re-Arise corner with that promotional Harrison. It's not really a plush. It's like a foam thing, right? Like they carved it out of foam. Oh no, I want it too, but I'm saying we've always called it a plush, but it's not actually like plush, right? They like carved it out of foam and then stuck stuff on it.
It looks it's definitely a plushie.
I thought they actually did like a making of it, and we saw it was like that hard foam stuff.
I mean, the base might possibly be, but there's actually like stitching on like the...
Yes, there is stitching on it. I mean, like, I don't believe it's like a soft, filled with Winnie the Pooh crap type stuff. It's not stuff with fluff.
Don't judge Erismon. We love Erismon. Doesn't matter what he's made of. I mean, it actually does if you've played Re-Arise, but
and then as everyone guessed, card game stuff. And we get previews of 3 more cards from this: Hououmon, Venom Vandemon, and War Greymon. Who could have guessed that War Greymon would have shown up in this set that has War Greymon on the packaging?
How about that?
I know, it's shocking, isn't it? And then it's June 18th. That would be 4 a.m. Pacific. That's Friday. And oh man, I don't. It's one of those things
And
where
as a,
I'm trying to decide. Like, I think I'm 37 in a few weeks. Am I old enough now that if I just say I don't want to do it? See, problem is I'm normally just like deciding to go to sleep at 4:30 anyways. So I tend to just go fuck it and do
you can
it.
make it an extra hour.
Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see.
And maybe we should drop the reminder that this is oftentimes sort of a lot of it's a rehash of
It's
stuff that we kind of
overview.
already knew about.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. It's not even like in the trailer they keep secret shit they're going to announce. Like the Wizard Montelmon thing for a lot of people, that's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
they've
that
Yeah,
might be
because it
the
was really
only
hard to get the first time around. Because like,
yeah.
hey, pre-orders, then it's gone.
yeah.
But that
So
might be the only new thing they break out.
yeah, and here's the thing. They don't remove these pre-recorded ones. They're subtitled in English. You can, if you don't have to write about it, you can easily just watch it the next afternoon with subtitles and a bowl of chips and relax. If you just want like another update akin to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we'll see.
I might even do that one of these years.
Now the question is, what type of chip would you have?
Oh, I'm a Tostitos person generally.
So tortilla
That's my
chips.
that's my default chip.
See, I
Yeah.
feel like if I were gonna do this, like when I used to stay up and watch Sasuke, which was brought
Oh
over here
yeah.
as Ninja
Yeah.
Warrior, I'd have
Yes.
like I'd have like chips, I'd have onion dip, I'd have some drinks,
A
and
combination I really like is Cheez-Its and chocolate milk.
huh,
Chocolate milk. I like Cheez-Its. That's an
I like
interesting
chocolate milk.
combination.
Cheez-Its are good also. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then so that when we get the displays of Chinese things, we're not completely sure of. It's always kind of interesting. So first up, we get Toy Star, which they did they're the Bandai affiliate that also had the display in. Was it in a mall from a month or two ago?
So
Yeah. So they're doing Wonder Festival Shanghai this weekend. So they do. It's their theme's almost like a bus or like like a camp out type thing. It's kind of hard to tell, but like they have a whole little bus theme with Digimon. Um, and they show off basically the same displays we've seen for a while, but reframed. And then where it gets interesting is so first up we get it appears to be a licensed from one of Bandai Shanghai's partners, a figure of Tai Chi and War Greymon from the new show, which I'm sorry, Dev, you're not allowed to buy it.
Oh.
Mostly because of the price. You're not going to spend $930 before shipping.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
oof,
Yeah, it's an expensive one, and it looks like
that's a lot. That's a lot going on with that.
yeah, a lot going on with that figure, especially when if you see the image of it on display, you can swap out Tai Chi's hand for an unactivated Digivice.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, I can safely say at no point did I think I was going to buy this, and that was before I saw the price. I just went, yeah, I feel like
Oh no.
yeah, I
I
feel
think
like
we'll give this one a pass.
yeah, I feel like Deb's not gonna have to debate with herself if she's gonna buy this one. It's just a no.
No, no,
And
no.
then
I don't
the
care about them that
and then the
much.
one that I was sent by the same person didn't get any further information, so don't know if these are official. They appear to be official. It's the designs of the kids, and these are from the original use was in that one shop in Japan where they did like a mini pop-up shop corner.
Yeah, I don't remember there being figures of those though.
There weren't, but it was
Okay,
yeah, it was art of them, and it's been turned into little
yeah.
figures, and I guess we'll find out more about these. I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I look at these, if these look like early in China or just China. Although looking at it now, I just realized these have been revised to. I didn't notice this originally. Things in here have been revised to be from the new show,
Mm.
like Mimi's hat. Yamato has the little thing tied on. He has the wristband
Oh, the little
tied,
Bandana
wrist
thing.
the bandana.
bandana.
Yeah, like most of them you can't tell because you don't see enough of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't
Hmm.
see Sora's shirt, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mimi,
I just noticed that
Mimi
these have been these.
glowering.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like most of them are happy or happy-ish or like neutral, and
Or
Mimi's like,
Yamato's never happy.
yeah.
Mimi's strangely not
Although I will say
thrilled
this,
about
the
this.
one that looks weirdest to me, and it's not a person in it. Look at the Gabumon eyes. Did they give
Oh
him like
god.
weird? Did they give him like weird
it's
happy
very
shoujo eyes?
it's very ooh face.
Woo!
Yeah, that's the one that when I originally saw, I'm just like, man, Gabumon looks like he's high or something. Cause like if you look at Patamon, it looks like Patamon.
Sure,
Hououmon looks
yeah.
like Hououmon. You look at Gabumon, it's like, oh fuck,
Like,
something's wrong with Gabumon.
like I do find it strange that they have Patamon's mouth and not Tailmon's, but like Hikari is inside Tailmon's mouth. And Sakaru is sort of like some sort
See,
of on
I
his
think
neck
that's
or something.
I think that's because of
Nom 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 nom
the way
nom.
Patamon normally sits and with his mouth front, Patamon looks
Yeah,
extra
it's
weird
a
without a
hat.
mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck, now I'm just stuck looking at the Gabumon eyes.
I really want to know, like, what does Joe's look like? What do Joe and Gomamon's look like?
Hey, see, this is you caused this, AR. Me also. We called him the butt so many times, we've magically summoned him out of photos.
Joe is not for sale because no one likes Joe.
Or Joe is just a Joe figure with a little Gomamon figure. Joe doesn't get the costume.
It's a Gomamon inside Joe.
Oh
Okay,
god,
okay.
no.
And then figures. We got to see a bunch more of the Digimon, the old vintage the Digimon figures.
Honestly, I wish they'd bring these back.
Hey, it's an anniversary year next year. This could easily end with them going, "Hey, we're gonna release them all at Premium Bandai. They'll be out next year, and you have to pre-order them now." And then Dev would spend a few $100s to get them, and I admit I probably would too, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I still like looking at them and trying to decide which ones are actually trying to go off the art. Like, if you look at Monodramon, it's like, okay, they're doing the best they can to kind of look like that artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at Centarumon and I'm like, it
They
looks
just
like
didn't care.
Centarumon, but yeah, there was no attempt made to match the
Yeah.
art that
Yeah.
I can see.
No.
Yeah. And then the episode art, I don't know why, but something about this drawing of Hououmon looks funny to me, and I don't know why. Like
Okay.
there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's that it almost looks like at one point they were drawing a Goramon. Like if you look at the middle,
Now I can't unsee that.
yeah, where it looks like the middle began as Goramon, and then someone went, "No, you can't draw Goramon. It has to be Hoemon." And then they're like, "Well, I'm already done with the middle, so I'll just tweak the legs, add that." But like, yeah, something about the middle doesn't look right to me. It looks like it's something with arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get.
Like, I know
And
what's
yeah,
wrong, but
no, and
Yeah.
I get why it looks like that. Is the idea is it's trying to chibi it and still keep everything, but it just means anytime I look at it, it doesn't look like how I expect it to.
jacked small chicken.
Yeah. And then it's time for questions. Those of you in the chat can start throwing them up, and we will go to the one sent ahead of time, including one that I laughed at when was sent in because I'm pretty sure this was based on something that came up in the Discord. Someone wanted to know, did Metal Slug Tactics actually look better than Digimon Survive? Absolutely. Here's the thing. A good chunk of the original Digimon Survive trailer is not based on making the game look good. It's based on telling you why you may want to play it. Which is a great way to do it, but we're now 3 years later and the visuals aren't good.
I've never looked at pictures
The thing is, I
of Metal
played
Slug
this
Tactics,
Gaia
and
series.
Oh no,
so
it was
my
only
standards are low.
it was only announced like 2 days ago. 2 or 3 days
It's
ago.
also been so long since I've actually looked at Digimon Survive pictures, so
Yeah.
I couldn't make a good
So
comparison.
the Metal Slug trailer, it is basically just an anime intro interspliced with first look gameplay footage. But the gameplay, even though it's a completely different genre, it looks exactly like you would expect a Metal Slug strategy tactical game to look. It's like they've redrawn everything to be at the angles, but it looks exactly like Metal Slug. The sound effects are from Metal Slug. It is literally Metal Slug tactics.
Hmm.
They
I've never
didn't
heard of Metal Slug. I've never heard of Metal Slug before, so
at all.
nope. This does not ring a bell at all.
We need to get you
It
some
looks-
Metal
You
Slug.
you were never at a pizzeria that had a Neo Geo machine?
I've been at some that have Neo Geo machines. I've never played them.
I don't
Please
know
go
how
to
to
like
react
a
to that.
Round 1 arcade.
I don't know how to
They have them
react to
there.
that. Okay, yeah, Metal Slug is effectively extreme Contra. More cartoony, more personality,
Okay.
and stuff moves around faster. So basically it's Contra, but you can also get in vehicles, and it's very cartoony. Like
You can get vehicles in Contra.
like if a zombie character vomits on you, your character turns into a zombie, but your character moves all fucked up. And if you get hit once, you
Okay.
die. Or if you eat too much, your character gets fat and your bullets are bigger. It's
Okay, so
very cartoony.
fun Contra. Okay.
Yes, fun Contra, and the tactic strategy game looks exactly like it. Like one thing everyone remembers is who's familiar with the game is when you pick a character in Metal Slug, you get a cartoony character saying the character's name, Theo, Marco, saying the name with like a really specific uptick in tone. They use the voice in the trailer when the characters are introduced, and it just bleeds the thing everyone knows. And here's the thing: even if we didn't have Metal Slug mentioned, they introduced
looks
another
fucking good.
they introduced another Mario and Rabbids game, which is better than we expected Digimon Survive to be, anyways. So it's kind of weird when they announced Digimon Survive. There was actually an interesting advantage, which is there weren't that many strategy tactical games in the wings. It was like Digimon Survive and the one based on what's the Jim Henson franchise? I don't remember. Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Yeah, they were making a Dark Crystal one, and that was it. Now Disgaea 6, is it 5 or 6? 6.
6.
It's out in Japan. It either just came out here or it's going to in a couple weeks. The Square one has a demo out. They're doing another Mario one, which everyone loved. The Metal Slug one looks great.
Digimon Survive kind of lost its advantage.
Yes, its advantage was that it was going to be maybe an interesting thing. It wasn't necessarily going to look great. It wasn't even going to necessarily be good, but it was going to be interesting, perhaps.
It's a good thing Digimon fans don't care.
Yeah.
But also, if you were thirsty enough for like tactical RPGs, you wouldn't care what the actual
back then. Yeah, that's gone.
series was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so next up, Galhart wants to know, they saw a Did You Know Gaming video based on, old cell phone games. Are any of the old school Digimon cell phone games in Japan worth preserving for the end of pre-smartphones and apps? Most of those are already gone, and I think all the pre-smartphone ones, weren't they all or most basically, this is 3 virtual pets mashed together, basically like what the anniversary ones have been?
The only one I really remember is like Crusader. I don't
But
really
that
remember
but that's
anything like
smartphone
before
era
that.
though.
That was a smartphone one.
Yeah.
Like I had.
Like I don't like
I
I'm saying like I
Crusader.
don't remember any smartphone games.
Yeah,
like,
I don't remember
before
anything that
Crusader.
came. I don't remember anything that came before that either.
Hey, look.
So I guess the answer is
I
no.
was looking something up, and it looks like someone broke the front page of Wikimon making changes. It appears Wikimon's working on a beta for a new version of the site. How's that going, Dev?
I don't know. It kind of popped up like about 2 hours ago, so I assume they're just like.
Actually, it appears the beta might be live, because I see various small changes to the way certain bits on the site work. So it appears it pops up a beta login every time because it's not working the way it's supposed to. Because I was trying to look up what the old pre-smartphone games were.
Let's see. There's Digimon Life.
Yeah, I think most of them were
You
mock
didn't
V
really
pets,
count
weren't they?
that.
Yeah,
It was
see,
like a collector thing. Like it wasn't even really a V pet. It was kind of just.
but like
I think
Revive and Survive were the ones most people know, I think.
Okay, I think this discussion is leading to the answer, which is no, these are not worth preserving.
Yeah, and of course
Because
stuff
we can't
like
remember they existed.
and of course stuff like Crusader and Heroes is already gone, but those are basically pretty standard games that just had a bit of Digimon slapped on them, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Heroes.
It was okay.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
And then
I'm still pissed that it's gone. It's like they could have just made that single player and just let us keep it.
Yeah.
See, the issue is that game never charged enough to make it that it was gonna last.
Yeah.
It was very friendly with giving you stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone wants to know, other than Digimon, what new shows you're currently watching?
Slime Diaries.
Loki. That's I think it's literally just Loki and Digimon at the moment, outside of work shows, which aren't brand new at the moment.
Yeah, I can't say I'm watching anything currently because Always Extraordinary Playlist got canceled, so nothing for me.
Yeah.
Well, I know it already ended like about a month and a half ago, but Skate the Infinity was really fun.
I heard that was a fun one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Huh. Yeah, that's one of those ones that kind of is on the list of, hey, someday I'll go back to that, and it's on a list of 5,000 other things.
Well, thankfully it's pretty short, so you can work through it really quickly.
Yeah, and then Ian wants to know, what are your favorite entomologies for Digimon?
Oh, I wish this was a prepared question. I can't think of one on the fly.
So I'm gonna pick the one that always caused people to argue, even when we knew it was wrong. It's Jesmon.
Oh, Jesus.
Because that's one where, like, the creator of Jesmon always told us it's not religious in nature. Period.
No,
it has nothing to do with Jesus.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it. And then when the name was finally revealed, he goes, yeah, it was this. The fact that it ended up being Jesus was kind of a fun coincidence, but it had nothing to do with the naming of it in any fashion. And this was after people would argue, oh, it has to be Jesus. It's not possible it isn't. It's Jesus, there's the three Holy Ghosts, and people are like, no, it has to be. And it's just like, we've been told it isn't by someone who does not traditionally like obscure stuff. And it's just funny to see, like, yeah, because that's the one where people just would argue about it when we 100% didn't know. And of course, part of the issue is we actually don't have for sure entomologies for a lot of stuff. Like, most of the ones you'll see on wikis are guesstimations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, it's as close as we can get.
Yeah, and some, I mean, it's either obvious or we're guessing.
Yeah, it's sort of like Greymon is listed as Grey, old or ancient. But we've seen plenty of evidence that it may actually be a shortening of great.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we actually know what the real entomology is for Greymon. Everyone's just decided it's old or ancient, as in, oh, it's a dinosaur, it's an old thing. We have plenty of evidence that may not actually be it, but we really don't know. So
it's also really funny. Like, the original guess for Agumon's name was like,
it was the nose, wasn't it? The onomatopoeia for Agu Agu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Agu Rabana, which meant wide, flat nose.
Yeah.
But then I was like reading the actual Digimon comic, and something was biting things, and it had Agu Agu
noise, which is biting noise.
Like, oh, that means biting, and he bites things.
Yeah, that's one of those things. But even still, I don't think we actually know. They may have just decided after the fact that was a cute thing to have. I don't think we actually know for Agumon, do we?
I don't think we know for almost anything.
Also, Dev, this is the one.
Pac-Man was apparently white.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and
also people keep changing the fucking page back.
Yeah, and and ignoring the beta issue, this is the only Wikimon thing I'll give Dev shit for this week. What the hell is with the Agumon page being completely fucking broken for images?
That is because the template will only that we're using will only accept so many inputs, and after that specific number of inputs, it completely loses its shit.
You saying they
Yeah.
overuse Agumon in the franchise?
No, I would say the choices that are made for images on Wikimon are kind of odd in what goes where. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure we need what how many different renders of Agumon from Cyber Sleuth are in that gallery? I
Oh,
see
jeez.
one. Then
Not
so
enough, apparently.
there's Agumon from Cyber Sleuth. Then there's art of Agumon from Cyber Sleuth. Then we have the renders of him dressed as the main characters. Him dressed as Taichi, him dressed as the store owner. Then the artwork
Yeah,
of
you
him
can
from Hack.
actually look at the bottom where it says pages where template include size is exceeded. It just has too many templates itself.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, we kind of need
Great.
all of them.
Great.
So we're fine.
Agumon fucking destroyed Wikimon.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was hungry.
Yeah. Okay, and then
He was in too much shit.
yeah, someone said they didn't think about it until a few other people did in the last 2 years. But why does Gundam come up in Digimon Talk so much? I like to believe that this was done because Jeff watched I can't remember the
Build
show name now.
Fighters, wasn't it?
Build Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Build
He was
Fighters.
doing a lot of comparisons between Build Fighters
Well,
and
here's the thing.
Digimon.
That's one of those things where I believe it used to drive Victor insane because I would say Digimon is shockingly like Build Fighters, and I'd repeat it constantly. And then people went and watched and like, holy shit, it is literally Digimon. But it comes up because Digimon at this point is an evergreen franchise, so it's a matter of finding other evergreen franchises to point to things they've done to point to what Digimon is doing. And
But also Bandai.
yeah, and Gundam's one that's also has similar things in many ways to how it runs. So
Yeah.
it tends to be a good
Yeah.
example, even if they're not super similar franchises in general. It's just you can
But
look
they,
at
they have the same thing about having different series of where they just spin off everything, and they like to be weird every once in a while.
yeah, yeah, and the new one is a sequel to the original, which people keep saying, "Oh, shouldn't you move on from it?" And everyone's just like, "Fuck no, I'm buying those model kits. Go to hell."
Considering my friend spent like $600 at Premium Bandai like a month or two ago.
Oh, did they buy the unicorn head?
I don't fucking know, but he apparently got like a hot, huge stack of model kits.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. Gundam stuff is some of the craziest stuff to collect. I'm waiting for those seed replacement Blu-rays in the mail right now. But yeah, it comes up because when you're talking about it from business and logic, it's very easy to compare them. Because like Try was pretty much equivalent to Unicorn, just not animated as nicely. And then Unicorn got a film sequel, and Try got a film. It's just that odd sort of thing that makes it easy to compare.
They use similar production formulas.
Yeah. And Math Magician wants to know, do you think we'll get another Warp Digivolution sequence, or do you think they'll do back to back each time? I don't see them animating warp sequences that they don't need.
Yeah.
The entire
in this universe they go back to back to back. Like that's just how they're doing it.
Yeah,
and
they're not.
they never got around. They never introduced the concept of warp evolution. So don't expect that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, the evolution they decided to spend the money on was the fancy going to Ultimate. Doing a warp evolution one. Go ahead.
Which is so fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do find that it's interesting across the franchise of the various anime series how it is about 50-50 over whether they do back to back to back or just go straight to the big guy. Yeah, think about that for a second. Like it's about 50-50 which
that's
approach
interesting.
they take. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't think about. Oh, the next one's great. What's an expensive thing you almost bought but didn't?
Is that great? Because we didn't ultimately. So
No,
there's
I mean,
so many things that
I
are.
mean, it was great because we've talked about so many weird. Like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people, because when you think about it, it's 5, 6 years later. If someone just became an adult at the time, they may not have had the money to get the Wizardmon
Oh, sure,
Tailmon thing,
sure,
and
sure.
that's not a super expensive figure. So someone who maybe couldn't when they were 18 or 19, they're gonna be 24, 25 now, and getting a figure that was, what was it, 70 or 80? That's not an impossibility that it might be when you're just becoming an adult, or maybe you're a teenager at school.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Your parents would
That's
shoot you if you
probably.
brought home like a $400 Digimon figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we're sticking to Digimon, that's probably the answer, is one of those gem figures, because I've seen them. I've had plenty of opportunities to buy
Yeah.
one, and just never couldn't quite justify it in my head to spend that kind of, like, the $60 to $80 to bring one home.
I'm trying to think if there's any of those that I actually am sitting here going like, "Ooh, I really feel bad I didn't get that one," and not just, oh, I kind of want them all.
I kind of wanted. I would have been fun having the Leomon one,
Like,
honestly,
I know
just
it's
for
not
more.
officially licensed, but that one huge statue of all of Gabumon's evolutions, I wanted that so much.
Yeah,
Eh,
yeah.
I didn't think
God, that was
I don't
gorgeous.
think any of those really look good, to be honest. They all have the weird Unreal Engine effect look to them to me.
Ah, that one had really nice
Eh.
effects. So it had like ice and everything, and god damn, it
Yeah,
was
but the
fucking
model, but the
gorgeous.
characters themselves didn't look that good. They always look like the Unreal Effect Mario stuff to me.
Well, then there was also like the Dark Masters
Eh.
one, which was like,
Yeah, just none of those really look good to me, to be honest. They all looked trying to think of the word I want to use. It's
plasticky.
no, I can't remember what the term is, the CGI term.
Uncanny.
Yeah, the uncanny valley, where it's like they're nice and they're close, but they're just far enough off that it looks kind of like shit, especially if you're going to spend a lot of money on something. And that's where the gems have sort of done well, is that everything looks right, at least to me. So most of the gems, when I see them happening, oddly, the one that I was most off at was the one that AR mentioned. The Leomon I like, the jury doesn't look good on that.
Because it
Oh,
just looked like it
yeah.
was added as an afterthought.
No,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think we've said that that's our theory on that one, in fact, was that they added
It's like, we're
jury.
selling a Leomon figure, but
Yeah,
here's jury.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, probably like, probably the 8 original kids ones, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thing is, like,
Mhm.
at least two of those were near impossible to get a hold of. Like
It was
Mimi and
Mimi and,
Koshiro were a
yeah.
nightmare.
Well, it's not that
Yeah.
those were
Well,
impossible.
Mimi.
It's that was
Yeah.
before we really had ironed down how to deal with Premium Bandai Japan really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those were like Mega House exclusives.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember seeing
I think those still were
Koshiro
at
ever
Premium
in
Bandai, though.
stores.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. Those were Premium Bandai only in Japan.
Mhm.
And that was before we got nearly full distribution of them. And that was in an era when we didn't quite have it as easy dealing with intermediaries. So
Right.
those were ones that could have been very hard for people to get. And then last up is, if Kazuna did get a 4K disc, what would you all expect to be different? I would kind of just expect it to be a 4K disc with UHD. Maybe it would have that commentary that it did if they recorded it.
Yeah, that'd be the main addition I'd
Uh,
expect, is a commentary.
That or like fancier box art. That's about it.
Yeah, see, it's one of those
Yeah,
things where if they
they'd
had
have some
done,
fancy art
yeah,
for sure.
it's one of those things where if they had done like premiere events in the US, then I could see them putting in footage as oh, look how excited people were outside of Japan for it. But that stuff didn't happen for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I would expect much to be different, minus it just having 4K and HDR. Like if it were 5 years from now, maybe it would have the memorial shorts on it, and just as we're finally doing a release of them for everyone else. That's what an eventual horrible extended version is gonna be. It's just gonna be the movie with the handful of the memorial shorts that fit in clipped in where they fit.
Oh no.
And it's gonna be
Ooh.
Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kazuna Memorial Edition. So the beginning's gonna be Tesora. There's gonna be the Gabumon Agumon scene at the hospital. Were those the only two of the 5 that actually fit in Kazuna? I think it was, right?
They'd find a way to throw
I
the
just had
Jogomon one in
a
there.
horrible thought.
What?
Angela Anaconda.
I mean,
They need to
I mean,
bring
the
back
pro-
Angela Anaconda to lead
see
into
here's the
Tesora.
problem. At this point, since it's been 20 years and the joke's been burned out so much at this point, it just feels kind of burned out. Don't you think?
It's not gonna stop them.
Yeah, he'll do it anyway.
Yeah. And that's it for questions. AR, where can they find you, and have you done anything of interest recently or upcoming?
No and Digimon.firstagent.net is my site. First Agent ARP is my Twitter. I'm enjoying my off time right now. Also, I'm super busy in real life.
And Dev, what Wikimon page do you recommend people read, not including trying to get into that beta login that keeps popping up?
Say Agumon.
Belphemon sleep mode, because goddamn, I wish that were me.
Ooh, I like
Wait,
that one.
I missed what you said.
Belphemon sleep mode.
Oh, okay, Belphemon. For some reason, I thought you said Duftmon bleep mode, and I was like, what?
That
Yes.
Let
one's in Sabers
Belphemon
too.
say fuck.
No one likes
Duftmon bleep
Duftmon.
mode
We've
is in
seen.
Sabers too.
No one likes Duftmon. We have polls that have shown it to
Yes,
us.
that's true. Duftmon was especially annoying in Sabers.
Yeah. And I can
Oh
be found
god,
at
I'm so
WtW as
tired.
always. We will be back to normal Mondays from here. So no more odd days. It just happened that things lined up multiple weeks in a row. We will catch you guys later. Thanks for listening.
Read my review tomorrow.
Do they
Let
need
me
to?
sleep.
They've already heard it.
Oh no, there's more. I only got like halfway through my talking points.
Just remember, the review isn't up, so there's no way I could have known what the grade was, and I guessed B mine.
I'm gonna have some integrity and not change it now.
So
I wouldn't be able to get away with that anyway because it's up for patrons.
Oh, okay. Did anyone give you birthday money?
They did not.
I'm disappointed in
Oh,
all of you.
okay.
Unless you're saving the birthday money for my upcoming birthday, in which case, good. We will catch you all later. Bye.
I
Bye.